It was 1920, and the European continent was devastated by a world war. In addition to countless military casualties, many civilians were left hungry, sick, and homeless. Moved by their need, Baptists from around the world united and raised the extraordinary sum of $1.5 million to aid victims of the war. These early efforts began a long tradition of Baptist relief and development, which today continues under the supervision of Baptist World Aid, the relief arm of Baptist World Alliance.
Ours is a poor country. Most people live off the land. We scratch out enough in good years. But in this part of the world, typhoons come from the sea every year or two. They destroy our crops, livestock, and homes. Just when we try to recover, another disaster comes and destroys again.
Now that the rebels have finally been driven out of the city, the people are left to face their future all by themselves. Hundreds of homes are burned. Thousands are homeless. All the agencies have shut down and left. Thousands depend on food rations to survive. So many lost homes, their property, their family. This will take a long time for people to recover.
My family was barely rescued. My wife fled with only one blanket. Many fleeing the volcano crossed the border and sought shelter in Baptist buildings. Most are safe because they ran away before the town was burned down. What I saw in Goma was beyond my human understanding.
Brazil has 30 million abandoned children. Some are dying of malnutrition. Others live in the streets, abandoned, exploited by criminals. Every day the problem becomes worse and worse. Some organizations want to help, but most only give these boys and girls food and an occasional place to sleep. But they continue to be children of the streets without any greater purpose in life.
November 1989. The Berlin Wall comes down, hastening the breakup of the former Soviet Union. During the harsh Moscow winter of 1991-92, food was running out. This touched the heart of the Leesburg Baptist Church in Virginia. They worked together with BWAid and others, loading a World Airways DC-10 with food, fuel, and other goods for the people of Moscow. It was known as the Angel Flight. BWAid Director Paul Montecute helped load the plane in Washington and then flew to Moscow, where he helped the deacons of Moscow Baptist Church unload it. By early morning, the empty plane was on its way back to Washington.
Nothing has been so big for us in recent times as the after effects of the tsunami disaster of Boxing Day 2004, and we swung into action as quick as we possibly could. Aid reached people literally within 2 or 3 days through the many partners that we have around the world.
We see the generous response still being made by Baptists in Asia, like from Japan and Hong Kong and Singapore and Australia, Baptists from the United States, whether it be conventions, national conventions or state conventions, or even individual churches. People still have a heart for what happened in the tsunami and are still giving funds for it. And those funds are still needed, and those funds are still being used and will continue to be so while there is human need there. One of the newer organisations on the Baptist World Aid scene is Hungarian Baptist Aid, which has been around now for nearly a decade. And this has been built up because of the entrepreneurial and yet evangelistic zeal of some younger Baptist leaders in Hungary. They have an energy and a speed with which to operate. And so almost immediately after the tsunami, they were there in Indonesia. After the Pakistan earthquake, the Hungarians were again able to respond very, very quickly, and so the Baptist family around the world provided them with the resources to be able to do that. And so in Pakistan, Hungarian Baptist Aid took in tents, winterized tents, so that they could be immediately erected, and people at least had some shelter from the winter storms that were coming. And then warm blankets or sleeping bags were provided so that they had the means of keeping warm. And then pots and pans together with food rations. It was again a wonderful example of Baptists working cooperatively together.
Baptist World Aid, entrusting, empowering, enabling the world family of Baptists, working through local Baptist groups who know the needs in their country, and they know the culture and context where relief is required. And because of low administration costs, 90 cents of every dollar goes directly to the needy area. And Baptist World Aid multiplies each dollar by partnering with others. So a $10 donation buys $100 worth of medicine. A $100 gift for hunger relief provides $1,000 worth of food. Baptist World Aid has helped feed and provide medicine to Rwandan and Chechnyan refugees, provided lambs and goats to families in India, shipped medical supplies to Angola and North Korea, helped with displaced villagers after devastating floods in China, Mozambique, and Honduras, and built shelters in El Salvador and India for victims of crippling earthquakes.
Baptist World Aid has led the way of Christian denominations, supporting those in need irrespective of color, creed, or race. As Baptist World Aid approaches its own centenary, the work continues through indigenous Baptist leaders, supporting the least of these. May God continue to be served through the work of BWAid.